at Barber, and the aforementioned Christian Lundgaard driving the number 7 Arrow McLaren Chevrolet had a race high 16 on-track passes today. Third podium in 4 races this season, up to second now in the NTT INDYCAR Series point standings. We'll begin, Christian, with you. Just your thoughts. Obviously, a busy afternoon for you. You got to be happy with another podium to start this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the progression that we made since the Sebring test earlier this year, it's just been moving forward and going in the right direction, and the team's been doing an awesome job. The pace in the car is there, and it's just about execution, and we didn't really execute in qualifying yesterday, so we were frustrated and we wanted to make up for it, and we did today.
Some of the passes out there, which one do you enjoy the most?
I mean, I enjoyed the pass on Scotty Mack here, but I really did enjoy the one I had on Pato into 5, around the same pit sequence. It was kind of all 3 cars, the 5 car, the 12 car, and Scott coming out sort of like a lap after each other. And I pitted before them, and I had warm tires, and it was just kind of chipping one off at the time. And I had a great time out there, for sure.
Congratulations, Scott. Another podium for you here at Barber Motorsports Park as well. Just your thoughts on a third place finish.
Yeah, I think we were just third place today. Like, we just didn't quite have the pace, from the get go. Really, from lap 2, I tried to push sort of Alex, and then he just had a lot of speed, and I just didn't feel like I had much grip. But the car was still okay. It was still pretty fast, but just wasn't as quick as the front guys. So front 2, but hey, we're like, it's good points. We got to just got to keep keeping on and being at the front as much as we can. And that was a solid race from us for the pace that we had. So if you want to build a championship campaign, that's how you got to do it.
Crazy to think this is now their third straight all green race this season. As physically as demanding as this race course is, that's almost amazing at a place like this, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but I think we all feel pretty good by now, because like it's just like match fitness. You just like sort of all your muscles are sort of going. If this is the first race of the year, it'd be pretty hard. But I think ultimately, it's I'm very surprised by INDYCAR that we have no yellows right now. But it's a credit to the racing, credit to like the clean racing that we're having, and obviously the hybrid. We're able to restart when we when we spin or something like that. So,
Christian, you agree?
Absolutely.
Good answer. We'll open up for questions. Let's begin here with Bruce from Speed Sport Informs.
Scott, you said something on pit lane on the broadcast that as long as you keep executing, eventually you guys will catch up with Alex and be able to make a points race out of it. But just how frustrating is it to know you're out there doing as good as you can, and he's just doing that much better?
Well, it's not frustrating, because at the end of the day, like, you can only do as much as you can. I mean, I'm driving the thing as fast as I can. Christian's doing the same thing. Alex is doing the best job he can, and that turns out to be a really good job and solid. And we all know it was going to be that way. So when a guy's at the top of his game, all he can do is try and be at the top of yours. And I felt like we really executed today. We had a third place car and we came third. So that's all we can do. There's nothing more, nothing less. And I mean, I learned that when I was racing supercars, championship campaigns. You just got to be there. But yeah, it's all swings and roundabouts, and we'll be strong at other places. He won't, and he's just going to try and capitalize.
And Christian, in any other season, you'd be the story of the year so far, and but Alex is just on fire. So just how do you put all that in perspective? Because you still are having a great season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just about putting that aside and then focusing on yourself. The 10 car is doing a great job, and we've seen that in years in the past, and I would say we're trying to raise our own bar, and we're doing so. We're performing better and better, and on top of that, I had a team change and getting to know a bunch of new people, getting to work with a bunch of new people. It's a different car to drive, so I'm very pleased with the job that I've done so far and the work that we've done. I mean, I don't think I could have dreamed of 3 podiums in 4 races, the 4 first races.
Tucker White, SpeedwayMedia.com. Scott, I believe on lap 2, you were within a half a second of Alex Palou there, and by lap 4, you had fallen back to, I think, 2 seconds. What had happened there?
Just pace, purely. That was it. I just didn't have enough pace. I mean, at the end of the day, I pushed him, and then sort of settled into a rhythm. And ideally, I wanted to stay, in that 2-second bracket. But Alex just had really good speed there. Yeah.
And Christian, what was your thought process with that power move on? I believe it was Scott McLaughlin on lap 43.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you're just trying to get by. It's a pit sequence. It's the one real opportunity you have, because as soon as everybody's settled in, you need to rely on people making a mistake, and you can't do that. So it was about doing it when it counted, and I was close enough to Scotty. I think we all know as soon as we get to the high speed on cold new tires, we'll kind of bottom out, where I pitted a couple of laps before, and so I'd gone through that. So when I caught Scott there, I knew game was on, and I knew he was gonna work for it. But always clean racing with Scott.
Scott, question for you, Wolfgang here. Congratulations for the race. For the future races, and your team, do you have any idea how to break the dominance of Alex, in which areas you have to improve the car?
I think you just need pure speed, man. Like, I think those guys are executing. They're just knocking, good lap times out, qualifying well, and then executing the race. Great strategy. You got props to Barry and the team that they run on the 10 car. They're doing a great job, and obviously they've got a really good driver. I think Alex is one of the best racing car drivers I've ever come across. He's the whole deal, but that doesn't mean we can't beat him, as I said. But yeah, you just got to. We know where we can improve in different facets that I can't really expose, but ultimately, I think if we just keep knocking on the door, hopefully, everyone has a bad race at some point, so you just got to try and keep knocking on the door there. But those guys in the 10 car, like I said, Barry, Alex, all those guys, they're doing a fantastic job, and all you can do is just sort of be there if you can.
Jeffrey Runkin, Motorsports Today. This one's for you, Christian. You said earlier that kind of the biggest change in your performance this season has been the team change, but kind of what behind the scenes has really allowed you to step up your game this year?
I think ultimately not a lot is really different from my own approach. I would say it's keeping things very simple and just focus on what you can control and master the basics, really. I think that the car is purely faster than what I've been doing for the past 3 years, and I think we've seen that just purely from the results across the last 3 years. But no, it's just good and nice to see it come into reality and really just executing when we have the pace, and I think we've done so. I think we got more out of Long Beach than I think we anticipated waking up Sunday morning. So. And at the end of the day, that's how you fight for championships.
Hi, this is Tracy. This is for Christian. And, I'm with Novel Photos. You said that your car wasn't as good as the test coming into this. And last night the team made some changes. At what point did you know that those changes made a huge difference and it could get you on the podium?
I'd say straight away in warm-up this morning. I've been battling with the same balance issue all weekend. We had an issue on the car in P1, which kind of forced us not to be able to really try much in P1. So we didn't get to try some things that we wanted to try, so we were kind of stuck for the rest of the weekend with what we had, because there was a bunch of other stuff that we needed to test. So it kind of decreased in our list of things we wanted to try. So I said last night we need to do something if I want to have a good race car, and we did it for warm up this morning, and it was just clearly better. And I said that was probably one of the biggest game changers I've had in a car, and it's a relatively small change, so it's a little surprising for us, but the car felt at least a lot better.
Guys, to your left, we're going to squeeze in one more. Go ahead, Dan.
Scott, I do not have an Alex Palou question, but I'd like to ask you.
You can.
In advance of this event, you took some time and went to the Children's Hospital here in this community. Talk about how emotional, inspiring that was, and how you felt when you got home and hugged your own child.
Yeah, that was that was really how do you like I guess a sobering experience, realizing how lucky we do have it, but at the same time, how many angels work in that hospital. It's a amazing thing. The kids were so positive, the kids that I met, and anything that you can do as a racing driver, as a role model, or anyone, you're kind of like a superhero at that point when you come in and hang out and play Hot Wheels and play Mario Kart. And they were very good at Mario Kart, I might add. But I had a great time, and I'd actually like to do that again. I think regardless, it was a really cool thing, and yeah, I think you just appreciate the people that work in their hospital as well, as much as the kids are going through it, but they've got amazing people that look after them, and that's obviously the Children's of Alabama do a fantastic job with that. No worries.
Nice way to end it. Thanks, guys, on a tremendous weekend and another podium finish for all you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Barry Wanser from Chip Ganassi Racing will be joining us here momentarily. Stand by, Barry. Barry Wanser is the team manager for the number 10, Alex Palou, as Chip Ganassi Racing now celebrates its 139th win in the storied history of the race team. And it's a pretty impressive showing for Alex. Led 81 of the 90 laps, Barry. Just your thoughts on another win. Was it 3 out of 4 races so far here in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to a season than what we've had so far. We literally just take it session by session, race by race, and do the best we can. And the team is obviously performing really strong, especially on the 10-car side. And it's we're able to perform when it matters the most. And it's getting the pole. It's really hard getting the pole position here. When you advance to the Firestone Fast Six, it's the fastest 6 cars that you're battling, and with only 6 cars on track, there's no excuses of getting blocked or held up, and you got to get it done. So it's really hard to do that, and so that was a good start to the weekend. Obviously we talk about tires a lot. The tires certainly played out a little bit of the strategy. We're actually pleasantly surprised to see how strong the harder primary tires were. We thought they were going to be a bit of a deficit where you didn't want to be on them very long, and we're going to have to be running longer runs on the softer reds. But they hung in there and made it a pretty easy 3-stop race.
One question, then we'll go to Bruce and Nathan. I see you online too. Just as we head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, you guys are up 60 points in the championship. You can dream of something like that. I'm assuming when the season began, had that kind of points lead heading into IMS.
Yeah, I mean, everything we do is about building momentum for Indy. Our 2 team goals are to win the Indianapolis 500 and win the Drivers' Championship. So everything's about building momentum leading into Indy, and it's momentum and confidence is really, really important, and that's we certainly have it. And it's doesn't guarantee anything except that we know we can do it. So we just need to try each week get it done.
I think after one of his championships the past 2 years, you told me that the best is yet to come with Alex. Is that what we're seeing this year? His upside just continues to get higher and higher.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's, admittedly, he'll say he's learning every time he's in the car. So there's a lot more to learn. He's getting stronger. But you can't take away from how strong the team is performing, engineering, the setups, the pit stops. So, the entire team is performing well, which obviously enables him to do what we need him to do the most, and that's perform on track. He gives us all the options with speed, fuel saving, whatever we need, he can do it. And that helps us with all of the strategies.
Right, Barry.
Jacob Seelman, Race Face Digital. Barry, CGR's had so many talented drivers over the years. Alex, just the latest. But what do you see in him, particularly over these last 2 years or so, that just makes him so special behind the wheel?
Like you said, we've been very fortunate to have some pretty amazing drivers, and certainly the drivers I've worked with on the 10-car stand that I can truly compare, where you listen to all of the feedback and do all the races with them. I compare him to certainly Dan Weldon and Dario Franchitti. Dan with his precision, and Dario with his thoroughness and certainly on track performance, especially at road courses, street courses, kind of second to none. I used to say second to none, but now I think Alex is working hard to take over that.
And what can you say about the drive from Scott having to start deep and still advancing almost to a top 10 finish?
Yeah, I mean, you can never count out Scott Dixon. 6 championships, many wins, and obviously he had a difficult qualifying session, didn't advance. But I think if I heard right, I think he was the biggest mover of the race. So that's pretty hard to do, to make up that many positions in a all green race. Like, that is true performance on track and in the pits.
As you've been working through the weekends lately and looking at the data, setting up the car, do you look at the data and think to yourself that you're nailing the setup, or is it really Palou that's like masking any small issues that you have out on the track?
Yeah, I don't look at data. I'm not an engineer. I kind of manage the process and let engineering do their work. But I can tell you there's a lot of data that's reviewed, a lot of video. And my takeaways are right from the first practice session on whether the car unloaded well, and what changes we're making. If we're making minor changes, testing a few items, I know the car, it's a good start to the weekend. If we're literally sometimes have to throw the kitchen sink at it and make big changes before we get into qualifying. But again, we have a great group of engineers that are just constantly looking at the data, comparing along with the drivers.
Wolfgang Wanser from Germany, Rennsport Press. I have a technical question for you. I mean, it's very obvious Alex car is very dominant. So when the other 2 drivers in your team are struggling, in principle, can you copy Alex setup or preparation onto the other cars and make them identical?
Absolutely. I mean, we compare all the cars all the time. And when you have a 3-car team, we're able to spread out some of the testing items amongst the cars, and a lot of times based on feedback, all the cars will adapt to something that was a positive change on the other car. You saw, Kiffin Simpson last year was kind of the truest form of a rookie in a long time at INDYCAR, and now he's starting to show. He qualified 10th. He finished 10th at Long Beach, qualified 10th here. And again, with the level of drivers that are in INDYCAR right now in the teams, to qualify 10th in your second year, it's pretty impressive. So he didn't have the best race. I'm not sure what happened, why he dropped back, but you can see the performance for the 9 car was there too. He just unfortunately started at the back.
Hey Barry, congratulations. Obviously with the Indianapolis 500 coming up, with the momentum that you guys have and with the oval at the Speedway, what do you guys think you're going to have to do differently for adapting to the oval at IMS?
I'm not sure it's adapting. It's carrying on with what we've been doing. The adapting really is just for the car changes with how it's built, specifically for the Speedway. But we take it in the same, take steps very similar to we do everything else. The only difference is at Indy we get a longer practice sessions, right? So we run every day longer for 6 hours. Track's available, so there's a lot more we can do each day leading up to qualifying weekend. Then we also have that additional practice on Monday after qualifying. We're at that point. That's the first practice session where all of the cars are working on race setups. So all the cars you're running around, you might not necessarily always know their fuel level or their tire level, but everyone's working on race setups and race downforce. So one of the challenging things during the week leading up to qualifying is there's some teams that do work on race stuff early. So, but then the cars just get rebuilt for Carb Day, and then we get through that and hopefully have a great day on Sunday.
Got time for one off Zoom. Nathan Brown from the Indianapolis Star. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Nathan.
Hey there, Barry. Alex said on TV after the race that he's getting a little lonely out there winning this race by 13 seconds and having won 3 of the first 4 races. What do you see in him that continues to push and drive him these last couple of years when he's on this pretty unprecedented stretch of race wins and championship domination?
I think it's patience and his ability to absorb all of the information. When things come along that challenge the drivers, like the use of the hybrid system with the deployment and regen. I mean, he mastered that pretty easily, and it's things like that where he adapts to the car, adapts to the needs, and gets the most out of the car all the time. At a track like here, I think a 2.3 mile length, it's worth about 0.2 of a lap if you use it correctly, if you're able to get the most out of it. So he gets it every lap. So it's things like that. It's, again, he makes it look easy, but it's definitely not easy. There's so much to it with the build of the cars, the engineering of the cars, and the pit stops.
Nathan, thanks. Last call in person. Congratulations, Barry, on another win. Safe travels back to Indy, and we'll see you back on track in a couple days.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks everybody.
Barry. Thank you. Still waiting for Alex Palou. Once celebration down at Victory Lane wraps up, Alex will join us. Now by the two-time winner here at Barber Motorsports Park, the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, driving the number 10 HRC Chip Ganassi Racing Honda, the Honda, who led 81 of the 90 laps. Third win in 4 races here in 2025. 14th career win, as mentioned, second at Barber. Over 1,000 laps led now in your 6 seasons in the NTT IndyCar Series. You go on and on and on with the accolades, but to get another one here in 2025, just your thoughts. Congratulations.
Amazing weekend. It was a perfect day today for me, for the 10 car and for the Honda 10 car. Yeah, I mean, everything worked really well for us since yesterday. Getting the pole was a huge milestone for us to start up front and to try and make profit of the good performance that we had this weekend. And then we're a bit worried about the strategy, right? Like we've always seen here that it could go either way, like 2-stop or 3-stop, depending on yellows or just normal tire mileage and fuel mileage. And we tried to open the gap early on. And when I saw that we had a really good car balance, it was, I was just getting happier and happier towards the end of the race.
Your dominance is impressive. Over a 60-point lead now heading into IMS, the road course, and the 500. How proud are you of that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, means nothing and means a ton at the same time. Means nothing for the championship yet, but for sure I prefer to be in the position we are not now than on anybody else's position. But yeah, best start of my career, like not in IndyCar. I would say everything that I've done in my life never been as good as here, not even go-kart. So yeah, couldn't be happier, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Alex Palou on WatsonFrenchich.com. Alex, 1,000 laps led. Reflect on, did you think that you'd be at that point in this stage of your career already?
No, absolutely not. No, my goal was to be an IndyCar driver, and then was just to be an IndyCar race winner or a person that could fight for wins and sometimes for championships. So yeah, I don't think that I'm in a normal position. I'm aware that I'm very lucky to be in the position I am today, to be surrounded by a great team and being able to fight for wins every single weekend. And yeah, I don't know how long is that gonna continue, but hopefully it's gonna be for a long time.
How much does this win really help with your momentum going into the month of May, going into Indianapolis week or month?
It's huge. I mean, it's May already, so it's huge. It's huge not only for myself, like personally wise, to feel like wanting to go on track, but for all the team, like getting a small reward before the month of May. We know it's gonna be a lot of days. We know that there's gonna be days that are not as good on track during the month of May, and to get this win early on in the month of May, it's gonna push everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, John Goolsby, Trustful Tribune, the Green Flag. Barry Wanser said something that I thought was interesting. He said that you really adapted to the hybrid pretty quickly, and then when you're on the top of your game, that's worth about 0.2 of a second a lap quicker than everybody else. So I'm from Alabama, so my math may be off, but over 90 laps, that's about 18 seconds faster than everyone, and you ended up winning by 16 seconds. What made you so good at adapting to the hybrid so quickly?
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I love studying how to extract the max performance from the hybrid. It's just another tool that we have as drivers to regen in different areas or deploy in different areas, or just to change the balance. Maybe not gain on overlap time, but just to change the balance a little bit from the car. I would say we started really well last year with the hybrid, getting a pole at Mid-Ohio, but actually last year we didn't get any win with the hybrid. So we struggled a little bit, or I personally struggled a little bit during last year when the hybrid came. So now it's like we're getting back the form, and I'm feeling really confident with hybrid and just the overall car balance.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, congratulations, Alex.
Thank you.
Fantastic result today. Talking about the hybrid and coming into the Indianapolis 500, with it being the first oval of the season, how do you expect the hybrid to perform?
Well, it was interesting when we did the open test. I think some people thought that it was making it tougher to overtake, and some other people thought that it was allowing more passes than we used to have, especially when you're like 4th or 5th in the pack. I think we need to wait to see what the conditions are going to be on race day, but I expect that it's going to allow us to pass when you are more in the pack. It's tougher to drive just because you have more weight and it's not helping the car balance or tire deck, but at the same time it's allowing, or it's creating more mistakes from drivers. Not big mistakes, but just small mistakes where you miss a little bit the apex, you cannot go on power, and then suddenly somebody behind uses the hybrid and he overtakes you, or he can try and put you in different areas on the track. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, and hopefully it's going to be a great show for everybody.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Okay, more questions? Jack? We'll work the other side of the room too, guys. Stand by. Go, Jack.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You started on used reds and black and reds. Was it the original plan you followed, or you saw other guys chose some kind of tires and decided to go different or the same? What was the process?
We thought for this weekend, what worked best for our car was the red tires, the soft tires. So we wanted to start on used reds, try and get as many laps as possible without losing too much from tire deck. And then we went to primaries because we saw that Colton was quite good. He maintained a quite good pace, and McLaughlin at that time went to primaries as well. So we wanted to be on the same page as well, just in case there was a yellow and then suddenly at the end we had to restart on a different tire. So we just wanted to be on the same page as them. But yeah, our plan was always to run 2 sets of used reds, 1 new and 1 primary.
Alex, congratulations. 2 questions. Number 1, you was leading 81 of 90 laps race tests, more than 90% or 95%. How difficult was it for you to get concentrating with such a dominant drive? And number 2, when you made your service stops, did you have any troubles in traffic? How was the traffic situation?
Yeah, it was physical more than anything. Like we always know that Barber is probably one of the more physical places that we have. Probably I would say it's the toughest on physical for the drivers, and especially today that we had no cautions. We had to run as fast as possible. We didn't really have a huge tire deck, so you could actually, and you had to push. So physically was tough, but then also concentration always it's difficult, right? It's a long race, it's tough, and yeah, I mean, you're pushing as hard as possible, but the car doesn't like it towards the end of the tire life. So yeah, it's good. I mean, that's our job, so that's what we do. But then in traffic, yeah, we had quite a lot of traffic throughout all the race. Like had to do quite a lot of passes, more than any other race, I would say, this year. And it's tough. It's a tough place to pass, but at the same time, it's a place where if the car in front of you tries to block you or defend a little bit in like turn 5, let's say, you can probably push him into turn 6 and get the position there. So it's a track that generates quite a lot of passing opportunities.
That was ridiculous, Alex.
Thank you.
You beat up on everybody like that. We haven't seen a driver do that in a while. Not just a dominant victory, but one where, whether you're on primaries or alternates, you're able to put 0.4 of a second, half a second, 0.7. I captured a couple laps that were 0.9 of a second faster than whomever was in second in a spec era with cars that are nearly identical. Where does this victory rate and where does that lap by lap performance sit with you? We don't see these very often.
Yeah, I actually said to Will when we did the cool down lap with the Honda Civic, I actually said that it's probably my best race or my best weekend in INDYCAR. Not only in INDYCAR. When I say INDYCAR, it would be like my career. Like getting the pole when it was everything so tight, getting it at the last moment, and then today, the fact that we had to run used tires that are used from qualifying, they are not in good conditions, and yeah, they are better than primaries, but I think everybody that was on the Fast 6 was in a small disadvantage than everybody else. So to still be able to keep good performance and then also to do it on the blacks, on the primaries was great. So yeah, honestly, I felt it was probably one of my best races.
Were you surprised at all that on that, after that first stop, you started the race on the faster alternates, heard it was on the slower primaries, you guys swapped after that first stop? In theory, he should have chased you down on those faster tires, and you're pulling out 0.4, half a second per lap. You ended up putting 4 total seconds on him during that stint. Did that surprise you at all? Not necessarily yourself, but the fact that at least tire-wise, the opposite should have happened.
Yeah, I was. I saw what we did to Colton and to other drivers on different tires on the first stint, so I expected to suffer a lot on the second stint. But already on like lap 2, when my tires were into temperature, I felt like the balance was actually really good, and I was able to do like 70s, 71s, and it was great. Like the car was not as good as on reds, but it was great. It allowed me to push, and I was able to keep a really consistent lap time. So yeah, I was a bit surprised that it went that well on primaries.
Last thing, we're in May now, heading to a track where you've done well in the road course, pole at the speedway. You've got 60 points over second place. I don't appreciate that. You're not giving us much to write about. Tell me about what's coming here. I mean, first of all, please don't win the rest of the races, but give me your feeling confidence-wise of what you can do for the rest of the month.
But it's a great story if we win a lot of races. It's a great story.
That's bullshit, and you know it.
No, it's not bullshit.
Yes, it is. I don't like you. Stop winning races, Palou. You're screwing up the season.
You guys don't understand media, and you can say, oh, Alex Palou won third race, and everybody likes it. Yeah, no,
I don't see a lot of smiles in here, pal, but anyways, kidding aside.
Yeah, honestly, Indy road course, we've been really strong there in the past. So hopefully we can maintain our performance there. It's always tough there. Like it's always, I would say, the toughest place, because for some reason everybody has a good car there, and to get to fast 12, like you need to work so hard, and the margins are almost nothing. It's like half a tenth, 1/10, and then the same to get pole or to start up front. So it's a tough one. Hopefully we can continue with the form that we had so far this year. And then the 500, it's a big one. I mean, everybody knows here that I've never won on an oval. So I plan on changing that this year so you can write a great story. And and I'm excited. It's May. I think everybody's excited. I feel like every year that I've been in IndyCar, I get more excited. I would say that at the beginning I was getting excited, but I was just not over the moon. And now I'm getting like, man, can we go to the racetrack right now? Yeah.
All right. Tucker White, SpeedwayMedia.com. Alex, for most of the race, you were doing the overcut on your pit strategies. Yet on your last one, you went for the undercut. Why was that?
I just follow whatever Barry and my team tell me. So I don't really know. I guess it's just to be safe. If there's any yellows or if there's any issues, we were, I believe, good on the gap behind with Lundgaard and with McLaughlin. So I assumed that it was easy to make it on fuel. So yeah, that's why we did it. Just, I think, to prevent anything happening and throwing up a win.
Jeffrey Runka, Motorsports Today. In 2021, you claimed your first ever victory here. Since then, you have 14 career wins, 3 championships, and has led near 1,000th lap. If you were gonna go back and tell yourself in 2021 all you would have accomplished over such a short time, would you have believed it back then?
No, absolutely not. No. Yeah, I think I'm really lucky to be, as I said, in this position, to have a great team around that allows me to fight for wins every single weekend and for championships. So yeah, absolutely not. I would have said you were crazy.
We've got time for 2 questions off Zoom before we wrap up. Nathan Brown, Indianapolis Star. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey there, Alex. Congrats on the win. Apologies for the baby screaming in the background. You told the TV folks after the race in your interview in Victory Lane that was getting a little lonely out there leading the race for majority of it without any fight. Ended up winning by more than 16 seconds. What is a race like that like for you when you just really have no challenges except for when you come up upon the back of the field?
Yeah, I didn't say it on a bad way, but it's actually fun for a driver when you can just focus on your laps, on your car. You don't need to really worry about gaps, and you can just focus and blend into one, right? Like you just know you have, 22 laps in front of you. You need to pass some traffic, which was actually quite easy to do today. There's races where you just suddenly get stuck, and today I was able to drive by. And it's actually fun. You get into that zone of like just getting lap times, and you focus on the lap time and the next corner and just trying to get as much fuel mileage, but at the same time taking care of the tires and opening the gap a little bit more. So for a driver, it's actually super fun. I was more like saying it for the fans, not for me. Like for me, if every race is like this, I would love it.
Sure thing. And my second question for you, I know the 2 goals at Chip Ganassi Racing every single season are always to win the Indianapolis 500 and win the championship. I'm not saying that we're going to hand you the Astor Cup here yet after 4 races, but when you look on these final 13 races of the year, having already won 3, to motivate yourself, are you, wanting to, set recent records on the number of wins you get this season? Like what are you focusing on to really try and challenge yourself and motivate yourself and put yourself through the rest of this 2025 IndyCar season?
Yeah, so I never start a season or go to a race thinking about the championship. Like never. Like my goal and what I enjoy doing is working for that race weekend. And for me, the next race weekend is the most important one. And that's all I think about. I like to, it's what I enjoy. I enjoy working with the team to try and get a little bit more and to try and be a little bit better than what we were the past couple of years and try and do the best we can that day. And then we turn the page and go to the next one. So I never actually think about the championship. Like when I tell you guys that I don't think until the last 3 or 4 races, whenever like everything starts to be compressed and you know that if you finish in the top 5 the next couple of races, you can win or you lose it. That's when it gets interesting. But now, yeah, I'll look at the standings and I'll be happy about it and I'll smile, but it's not going to change my motivation.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. Time for one more question. Enrique from Marca. Más preguntas, Enrique?
Yes,
You're getting like a free Spanish lessons.
I try.
See, that's a good thing about having me here. Okay.
Sorry, Enrique,
It was
go ahead.
great, by the way. It was great.
Thank you, Dave. Alex, enhorabuena. Prácticamente te hemos preguntado todo, pero yo quería tengo una curiosidad. Igual que el compañero periodista te ha dicho que se aburre de verte ganar y que no quiere que ganen más carreras, por también un poco las caras que ponen y cómo contestan a las preguntas sobre tu dominio, que es una palabra que ha salido mucho aquí. También el resto de pilotos de la categoría te dicen para allá, ¿no? Déjanos un poco, aunque sea en tono de broma, y al final eso es un aspecto psicológico que supongo que también influye, ¿no? Y la segunda y rápida es llegar en este momento de perfección, como tú has dicho, de dulce, ¿cómo ayuda de cara a las 500 millas? Que supongo que ahora, sobre todo teniendo el campeonato tan encarado, pues es un objetivo aún más bonito.
Sí, la verdad que hay muchísimos periodistas aquí que siempre lo dicen y es en broma, pero bueno, al final no paran de repetirlo. Hay algún piloto, pero no son muchos. Yo creo que los pilotos somos mucho más competitivos y al final nunca quieres decir nada que pueda ayudar a tu oponente, en ese caso a mí. Si alguien me dice eso, pues a mí me ayuda. Pero bueno, es bueno, es increíble. Estar en este momento es increíble. Como siempre digo, que estamos en una ola de que todo es bueno y que tenemos un coche ganador y que a mí me salen bien las cosas. Y sabemos que en el motorsport y en todos los deportes, pues esas olas pueden durar, pero no son para siempre, ¿no? Y lo aprovecho y lo disfruto cada momento y cada día que pasa. Y ojalá sea una ola muy grande y muy larga. Y nada, para mayo esto nos ayuda un montón, obviamente. Como he dicho, no solo a mí personalmente, sino también al equipo, ¿no? Saber que están haciendo un trabajo increíble y que pueden seguir rascando algo de velocidad para mayo, para la gran carrera, para intentar ganar las 500, seguro que le va a ir bien a nuestro coche.
Muchas gracias, felicidades. Thank you, Dave.
Gracias, Enrique. We got a couple of things for you. Stand by, but congratulations on win number 3.
Thank you.
We're back on track in 5 days at the IMS road course. Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you. Huh?
Make it 5 days.
Yes.
Can you make it?
I can make it 5. 5, no más.